And welcome back to the convention center here, to the Cobo Center. We are now joined by the one and only founder of MyPillow, MyPillow.com, Mike Lindell. My colleague Bug Hall is still here with me. Bug.
Howdy, sir.
And Mike Lindell. Mike, you are the hardest working man in pillows. You have worked this entire floor today.
Right.
Thank you for stopping by.
And I'm not working them for pillows. I'm working to save this country and secure our elections. That's what we got to do.
Thank God for you, sir.
So I know you're tired and you had a busy day.
I'm not tired. I slept great. When I don't sleep much, but when I do, it's quality. Don't assume anything.
So
that's good.
Me and the real president, we always talk who's got more energy. I think we both do.
I'll tell you what, back in my old business, we were always looking for guys with Trump energy. We said that all the time. That guy's got Trump energy.
He does have energy, doesn't he?
It's amazing. It's amazing. We encourage each other. He's if he's a lot older than I am. I said, wow, he has this energy. And he doesn't sleep much, but he's got great. It's great he got a MyPillow in 2016 because when he does, it's quality.
That's right.
A quick personal story. I was one of your first spokesmen in 2010 on the SiriusXM Patriot channel.
Oh, wow.
I told your ad girl, Dawn, I said, Dawn, I have a MyPillow that's 14 years old. She goes, I want to send you a new one. So I just got picked back up and have been supporting you. I just want to thank you on behalf. We're Catholics. You're an evangelical. I want to thank you on behalf of Christians for the stand that you have made and your personal sacrifice. I don't think people get this. You didn't have to do what you did, and you didn't have to support President Trump. You didn't have to go after and say investigate the elections like you did. You know, I got invited to one of your groups with Ted Nugent, one of those Zoom calls, and I actually watched what you guys were talking about. This is an incredible American success story of what Mike Lindell and others are doing to try and fix this system, Mike.
Right, absolutely. And they, when I was handed my evidence on January 9th of 2021, it really answered questions I had. You know, I took calculus in 9th grade, and I was a professional card counter, okay? And I know deviations, and I like right now I look at podcasts and everything that I have traced on promo codes on TV and everything, and if it's higher or lower than what it should be, I look into it. You had to have a different input to get a different output.
That's right.
In 2020, in November and December of 2020, one of the things that bothered me, I was doing my own investigations for those 2 months, was every county or every state I found, people voted there that didn't live there, and it's a crime. And I couldn't imagine, people are genuinely good people, I couldn't imagine 5,000 in Minnesota going, hey guys, let's run into Wisconsin and vote for Biden. Who's with me?
That's right.
It doesn't happen.
It's institutional.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen, and I'm going, and so when I was handing my evidence on January 9th of 2021 that it was all about computers, then it made sense. It was an answer. I look at answer and go, voila. Well, I never let up on that, and that's why I get attacked every day. Not because I back so much Donald Trump now. It's because last August I announced a plan to secure our elections, and one of them is to get rid of the voting machine, and they don't like that.
Yep.
The uniparty, deep state globalists, that's their biggest threat.
Yeah.
Their biggest threat is that they could have, if they'd have been smart back in the day, they would have just let Donald Trump win. He could put up for 4 more years, and then we're done.
We're done
over.
with it.
We are done. We will never have our freedoms because they have everything with these computers.
That's right.
But now, like, I'm going to be announcing a plan tomorrow. You heard just in the last month, everybody in news media has been hearing this. I just did CBS. Of course, they're hitting me from which I want to be hit from. Mike, the president, our real, they say Donald Trump, I say our real president, he's been out there saying vote early, vote same day, but just vote. We don't care when you vote. Well, that changes. A change in what he was saying, right?
Okay.
Same day. And even Jimmy Kimmel got on his show and said, well, Donald Trump just did a flip-flop. He says vote early and vote whenever. Now, Mike Lindell probably just rolled his pillow van, right? So then you had Laura Trump and the RNC come out, vote early, just, too big to rig. Well, I spent the last month coming up with a plan that, okay, this is what people are going to do. How can we trap them? And I have the best trap laid for the evil you've ever seen in history. Prayed about it. It's going to be amazing. I'm announcing it tomorrow morning at 10:20 from the main stage. And it's now we're actually going to encourage people they can vote early, same day or whatever, because what we have for this trap is absolutely amazing.
Fantastic.
And this will be like this. Imagine if Donald Trump, if you put it this way, if you went to vote, let's say you requested a mail, or let's say you got a mail-in vote ballot,
right?
And you got there on election day, you voted election day, and they said, well, you already voted. What would you feel like that DA in Texas 2 months ago, that a Democrat?
That happened.
That happened.
Right.
That's called identity theft. It's a different kind of evidence.
Right.
This is what this whole plan is based on. I'm going to encourage you to not open your ballot you get sent, or maybe you request an early ballot. I want the whole country to request early ballots if they can, but don't open them if you're voting same day. You're hearing a lot of this plan right now. You get there and they say you already voted. You're going to need my app, my Mike Lindell's apps, because we're going to download all that into the Election Crime Bureau. Imagine millions of people voting that get there that day and they say you already voted.
Right, that's right.
Well, there's protocols you have. You can't take pictures inside and all this, but we were going to have it all laid out for them, what they can do. The sheriffs at the county level, they have to investigate that election or that identity theft.
Right.
Okay? They have all the power too. So let's say now, there's a lot more to this plan, but let's say then that they steal, too big to rig, they will have to steal 30 million votes this time around. If
30 million
If Biden is the candidate, they have to steal at least 30 million. Last time it was 15 million. This time it will be 30 million. The deviations would be incredible. Okay, it would be bizarre. Now, if Donald Trump gets in, if it's too big to rig, he gets in. He needs stuff because he's said it from the scene. As soon as I'm in, we're going to same-day voting, paper ballots, and count it. He's going to get pushback from the Uniparty and everything.
That's right.
But we're going to need the information I have. So he says, "Well, look at this." You follow me?
So you're providing a resource that people can use to document these.
Absolutely, we're going to have.
God bless you, sir.
And
this is a big plan.
This is a big plan, and then also we're going to, and also now let's say that they do rig it and he does enough where he's not in. This is a different kind of evidence. This is identity. Everybody can understand that. Mm-hmm. You couldn't see inside those machines before. This is a different thing. Well, if millions of people get there and you've already voted, do you think millions of people, the public's going to go, wow, those Democrats, man, they went out there and they just, they took your ballot, but you have it in your hand, you haven't opened it.
Right.
What do you mean someone grabbed your ballot? It had to be done with what? Say it, guys.
Computers. Yes, sir.
Now, here's this. So this is what will happen. And, one of the things God's gifted me with is problem solution and know what it'll manifest to. I already know what this would manifest to. The public, if I told you guys I was going to give you a China virus in August, here's China virus 2.0. You know what? You think the public's going to wear masks and go sit like here in Michigan in snowbanks outside a restaurant to eat meals? Or in Minnesota, they tell you can only have 8 people in your house for Christmas?
Right.
Or your neighbor can turn you in? Never again. You fool us once, fine, but not twice. And I don't care if it was an anomaly. And now it wouldn't be an anomaly. We've learned from that anomaly. They scared us before. Same way with our election. This election, if we have what I'm going to have, and they steal it, okay, if they take it,
we'll know they stole it.
We will know it. And number one, the public is going to go, this time around, you machine companies, you don't get to do lawfare. We all want you to open up those machines and show us what happened. Show us those bad breaks on those cars.
So your idea here is to empower people, if that theft happens again, to empower them to have the evidence to actually stand firmly.
We will already have that. I will already have that. We will have what I'm going to be saying. We are actually going to work really good with this mail-in voting. They'll be requesting everybody. A lot of states now just dump them out there, right? But I'm going to encourage everybody to request a mail-in ballot. Everyone in the country request a mail-in ballot. They won't know who's going to send it in or not. That also screws up their little algorithm.
Right.
That's
right.
Genius.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
You get everybody to request one. I don't care who you are. Now, when you go to vote same day, some of them are going to vote early like they've been telling to, which is fine. But if the same day voters, they're going to bring it in there, and if they say you've already voted, or the machines, they say, well, the machines are broke again. They got carried on trains. Well, that's great. That's more things. Why would you have the Indy 500 if all the brakes on the cars don't work?
That's right.
And then you can't even look and see what's wrong with the brakes. You can't look inside our cars. How dare you? This is love. I'm going to sue you even for asking it.
So having that evidence finally, right?
Yeah, this will be a different kind of. This is identity theft.
That's right.
People couldn't understand.
Which is illegal.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Illegal in every state.
And you've got to understand, when I first started investigating all this, every single county in the United States in the 2020 election had people vote in that county that didn't live there. I have all the voter rolls, every one of them in the whole world. I mean, in the whole country. So every county had it, and massive numbers, right?
Yep.
So we'd go out and canvass and go, okay, we'd go down where they say they voted from, these houses on this address with 9 people in there. One lady lives there, and the other 8, you start digging into it and go, they don't even live in the county, or 2 of them are dead.
Right.
So we have all that, but you know what? Nobody did anything. They kept blocking me on it and blocking me on it and blocking about these uniparty Republicans like Brad Rassenberger and Robin Voss. So by that, and they go, we want the machines opened up. Well, obviously, they know what they did there. This is going to be different because everybody can understand. Find us why that, tell us why this identity. I was there. I went there. Here's my evidence. We're going to have a one-stop shop where they can download all the stuff on the Frank Social app, my election app, and that goes to my election crime bureau. It's like a gathering spot for all this evidence. This is the kind that everybody can understand. Now, when they dig into the machines, which by then, the machine companies all around the world, it's coming out now, like in Puerto Rico.
Right.
That surprised me that the AP picks it up and says, hey, Puerto Rico had problems with 6,000 machines.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And they called it a programming error. Things like this lady in Georgia that got 0 votes in her own precinct, this Democrat.
Yep.
0 votes. Everybody can understand 0. What they did to us last time was deviations that they couldn't explain. Well, how do you explain when a county outside of Milwaukee, traditionally 75-25 Republican, was flip-flop 25-75, and I look at it, and everyone still stayed there. Nobody moved in and out of the county, right?
That's right.
But everybody could understand 0 votes in your own precinct, right?
That's right.
I mean, I always joke and say they should have gave that lady 2 votes and said, I'm sorry, ma'am, nobody loves you but your husband. or they could have gave her, if they'd have gave her 1 vote, they'd have said, you're in divorce court, right?
That's right.
Your husband didn't
That's
vote
right.
for it. But they gave her 0.
You may be
computers
creating
can't.
The first bureau that I'm ever a fan of. the Lindell Crime Bureau.
Yeah.
I could get behind a bureau.
I love that
for the
you're
first time in my life.
decentralizing this idea of evidence so that people can stand up.
When Donald Trump's in, I want to have, to take my whole team. I have the Election Crime Bureau now. I want to have the Election Bureau, part of Homeland Security, that will just focus on which our government deemed critical infrastructure, our election. We already have what's the most secure elections. We already know what would make the most secure elections. I met with every single country that has secure elections. Your France's, your Germany with no machine, UK, the Netherlands. Look at the judge in Argentina made one ruling. We got to get rid of them. They did it in 4 months, and Argentina had a real election. Taiwan saved themselves from China with paper ballot. Ecuador, all of them. And then you have other countries that have outlawed early voting, mail-in voting. They've outlawed it. But here in the United States, we have
You want to increase it.
Yeah, in the United, we have every bad practice voting, and it's of all the countries in the world. Add them all together, we're still worse.
Right.
Quick question: in 2020, did Donald Trump win your beloved Minnesota?
Absolutely, he did.
I want all of you to hear that.
And he won it by a lot, or not a lot, by about 60,000 votes. But they stole more in Minnesota than other states, and I think it's because I was like his co-chair. I think I always told him I think they did it on purpose. We're going to really jab Mike Lindell, which I believe they did because I was going to run for governor there, and I
think you'd be a great governor, by the way.
But right after that, well, I've got a bigger mission to get rid of these machines. It don't matter. They would have just taken it. But after the 2020 election, the governor Walz in Minnesota sent out to every home in Minnesota, spent money, not even know if I was running, which I said I wouldn't run to be a dog catcher with these machines. And he sent these cards out saying, do you want these kind of people in governor, these like Donald Trump, the Mike Lindell? And I mean, he spent a lot of money on that because him and I would fight all the time in the governor's office. They burned down Minneapolis and everything. But during the China virus, here's a good story about bad government. So I had all these masks before I knew they didn't work, right?
That's right.
So the state needed more masks. So I said, here I have them. This is a month before the election. And Walz's office said, well, we're not going to accept them until after the election. In other words, they wanted masks, but not for Mike Lindell. Unless
they didn't want them that bad then.
Yeah, right. So then, and then there was that, and then there was also, right at the beginning of the China virus, he shut down all of our Christian churches, okay?
Right.
But he let the mosque open in Minnesota, or they opened to put bells on top of all the state. Only time in the United States, the call to Allah and stuff downtown Minneapolis. Now, with the Christian churches, I reached his office. I said, you know what? The word got out what I was going to do. Take these masks, distribute them to all the churches in Minnesota, and go, you guys, this is a mass distribution thing on Sunday. And by the way, you can loiter. There'll be long lines to pick them up. He immediately opened up the churches, right?
You are a problem and solution guy. I love
Where
it.
can people, after tomorrow, after you make this big major announcement here at the People's Convention, where can they go and find out about it?
We're going to make it a one-stop shop at lindellplan.com. In fact, you can go there now. There's another thing we're doing. It's called the Great Petition that you can do now. If you do that, if you take the time, you get a free digital copy of my book. My audio book. And it's a different kind of petition, too. This petition, it's in every county in the United States. You sign for your own county, and you're signing that you want paper ballots hand counted. Now, here's what that's going to do. It's not like we're taking this petition and going up, we demand this. No, this is different. We've already been to all the officials in 300,000 people in every single county. Most of the county officials want to go to paper, but they're afraid they're alone, that they don't have the people.
So they don't know.
So this is a love petition. We get all the signatures. We're going to go up to them. Democrat, they're both signing. All the people are signing. We're bringing it up to the commissioner. Hey, we're behind you. Now, whatever decision you make here to go to these paper ballots, we are behind you now. All these signatures, they're going to know who they are on that sheet. And they're going to be their neighbors, their friends, and it's working. We've got over 250 counties now committed to paper ballots in the 2024 election. It's a far cry from 3,143. But the new plan, I actually think it's going to be better now because I want to catch them. They're not going to know what to do. We've got to get rid of them permanently, and you need this new thing to get rid of them.
You've got to catch them in the act. Hand in the cookie jar.
It doesn't sound like you just want to win, Mike. It sounds like you want to defeat the enemy and offer him no quarter.
That's exactly right.
They didn't offer you any.
No, they didn't. And you know what? Like Ronald Reagan said, we're the light on the hill. If the lights go out here, they go out everywhere.
That's right.
The whole world is watching this, and they want these machines gone. I talk all the time to Venezuela Underground. Back in the day, there were tears 3 years ago on the phone. They go, please don't give up. We have been praying that it would happen to the United States so they would wake up and help our country, that it was done by computers. And it has been. And the Democrats have wanted these gone for 2 decades. It was like Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris in the movie Kill Chain.
Right.
It's amazing. And the biggest surprise to me over these last 3 years is these uniparty Republican blockers. I should be able to go into Alabama, Arkansas, South Dakota and go, hey, let's secure our elections and go to paper.
It should be easy.
It should be easy. South Dakota's the worst, bar none. And who's their governor? Governor Kristi Noem.
She's here.
And she's here. Governor, your Secretary of State, the Secretary of State of South Dakota, you know what she did a couple weeks ago? She made a deal with ES&S Machine Companies, which is the biggest in the country, out of Omaha, Nebraska. She told them, we want all the ballot images turned off for the primary in June. Now that turns off the cast vote records, which they won't give us anyway.
Right.
And it's disgusting. So we're fighting there, and I always say to Governor, what are you going to do about this? Governor, she hasn't answered me. Ever since the FBI took my phone, she won't answer.
Mike Lindell, you're a great American.
God bless
You really are a great American.
Sir. Thank you so much.
For all
Thank
that
you for your
do.
work.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, you better believe it.
Keep up the hope, everybody.
And I can give you a personal endorsement. I have a 14-year-old MyPillow, and I sleep with it every night.
All right.
How's that for an endorsement?
And you know what? You guys have a promo code?
King Dude. Yes, I do.
Okay, well, give them that promo code.
MyPillow.com/King Dude.
There you go. Get that. You get the biggest down. We put a whole bunch of stuff on there for Father's Day in celebration today. Use that. Biggest discounts ever. There you go.
MyPillow.com/King Dude. KINGDUDE. Do it.
Do it.
Mike,
All right,
thank
God bless
you.
And tell us again what that website was that people can go find.
LindellPlan.com. I made it easy. Go there, help out, and you're going to get everything. It's like a hub of a wheel. Everything you're going to learn tomorrow, everything's posted. You're going to have to download. If you go to the App Store right now, too, you can download, just put in Mike Lindell app, the Frank Social app, the Frank Speech app, my own network. We have Lou Dobbs over there, everything. But the Frank Social app you're going to need for this plan.
It sounds like a great plan,
Yeah,
Mike.
it's a great plan. It's God's plan, too. I prayed a lot about it. Yeah.
Hey, we're going to send it back to the studio. Thanks to Mike Lindell, My Pillow, and for Bug Hall for being here. Thank you, Mike.